my loves, it is Asha and today's video is all about my going out routine. So I'm going to show you guys exactly what I do to get ready for a night out, including my makeup, my hair, my outfit, what I do for my tan. Usually when I go out, I'm there for a long time, probably dancing and sweating, and so this look is just going to last you all night long. I really hope you guys enjoyed this video. Before we get started, I was wondering if you could leave me some comments in the comments section down below, because I'm going to be doing a Q&A next week, so you guys can ask me anything you would like, whether it's about makeup, beauty, hair, music. It can be more personal, boys, friends, school, uni, my job, whatever you want to know. Without further ado, let's get started on the routine. Before I apply makeup, I'm going to start off by using the Hoola Zero Tan Lines by Benefit, and this is a wash-off fake tan, so it's just going to give you a really nice bronze for the night out, which I personally like to be the most tanned and bronzed when I'm going out. I do already have fake tan on, but I just like to give myself that little bit of extra bronze. This stuff does look kind of scary, but once you blend it in and everything, it just looks super natural. And how cool is this? And I didn't realize that this came with this for like 2 weeks, so I'm just going to apply this to my chest. I've already moisturized my face, and for that I use the First Aid Beauty Ultra Repair Cream. This stuff is amazing. Primer is probably the most important thing on a night out because it's going to ensure that your makeup looks incredible and lasts you all night long. So you definitely want to make sure that you use a primer to prep your skin. And the one I'm going to be using is the Nip and Fab Viper Venom Micro Blur. This actually has Viper Venom in it, which is kind of weird. Dab this all over my face. And I do this because NICU tutorials said it makes your makeup last longer. The thing I love about this primer is that it is just so sticky. So when I apply my foundation over the top, it just makes my foundation stick to my face so much better than if I were to apply it to bare skin. So I've just let that dry, and because I do have quite big pores on like my T-zone, it's not a fun time. I do like to take the Benefit the Professionals. I use this every single day and it does an incredible job at making my pores look smaller, and you only need the tiniest amount of this. Work this into my T-zone. Okay, we are all prepped and ready for foundation. Now I'm taking the Maybelline Fit Me Concealer in the number 35, and I'm going to apply that to my blemishes and blend it out. And this skin will look crazy because it's way darker than my skin tone, but once I apply my foundation, everything will look nice and smooth and even and everything. I just ordered the Tarte Shape Tape Concealer online, and I've been waiting for my order to come for like 3 weeks, and it hasn't. I'm getting really frustrated because I just want to try it. And I'm just going to blend this out using a Real Techniques setting brush. This brush is amazing at blending out concealer. I just find that it gives me the best kind of coverage, better than if I was to use a beauty blender or like a kabuki brush. Because it's a night out, you want to make sure that you pick a foundation that is going to be super long wearing, and my favorite one is the Urban Decay All Nighter Foundation. Itchy nose. This really does last all night. Highly recommend if you have oily to combination skin. That's what I have. So I'm just taking a wet beauty blender, and this was pink once upon a time. I love beauty blenders, but they get dirty so easily. I washed it a couple of days ago and it just looks disgusting. So anyway, let's apply some foundation to our face. For concealer, I'm taking my Becca Aqua Luminous Perfecting Concealer. I feel like I said that so weird. I'm just going to be applying this underneath my eyes to brighten up underneath my eyes. I'm just going back in with the pointed end of my beauty blender and just blending that out. I'm just going to take a tiny bit more of that concealer and bring it up onto my eyelid, just so that when we apply eyeshadow, it'll make sure that there's no veins or anything popping through. And then I'm taking another Real Techniques setting brush. I have 2 of these, one for concealer, one to set my concealer, and I'm taking the Benefit the Professionals Shine Vanishing Pro Powder. I like to do this before the rest of my face just to make sure that I don't get any creasing underneath my eyes, and I'm also going to bring it up onto my eyelid. I'm also going to use this setting brush to set my chin, just because I get quite oily there, and if you use a good packing brush to pack on a powder, it'll just last way longer. Then I'm just taking a big fluffy brush and I'm going to set the rest of my face with the same powder. I actually look like a naked mole rat right now. I'm now going to move on to my eyebrows and come back to my face later to do powder and stuff. I'm going to be using the Benefit Car Brow in number 2, and this is quite a light shade, but because I do have quite bushy brows already, using a lighter shade just makes sure that they don't look over the top. So tip, if you guys have really big, thick, dark eyebrows, is go for a shade lighter. I'm using my Vanity Planet eyebrow brush to apply this product, and I just like to swirl my brush into this and then I apply it from the middle of my brow, work my way outwards and then come back into the front of my brow with whatever's left on the brush, and that's just going to make sure that your eyebrows don't look like scary filled in. They really need a plucking right now, guys, so let's just ignore that. To set my brows, I'm using the Benefit Ready Set Brow. It'll make sure that your eyebrows literally do not move all night long. I just like to comb up the top of my brow, like the front, and then swish out the ends. Now for eyes, the first thing I'm going to do is apply this eyeshadow. This is from MAC and it's called Coppering. This is just my favorite eyeshadow to wear on a night out. Because of the super orangey color, it makes my blue eyes pop so much. So I'm just taking a packing brush, and this one is also by Vanity Planet, and I'm just going to pack this onto my eyelids. I don't really worry about being messy at this point because I'm going to blend it out anyway. And then taking a fluffy crease brush. What the hell? Then taking a fluffy crease brush. This is 217 by MAC, my all-time favorite blending brush. I'm going to be taking MAC Soft Brown, which is, sorry, this palette is so dirty, but this is soft brown here. It's just like a perfect crease brush. It's an eyeshadow, Asha. Come on. And I'm just going to blend out the crease of my eye. I'm going for kind of like a V shape. I like it to be quite tapered like this. That shape. Does this make sense? I hope so. Then I'm going into my Lorac Pro Palette and I'm going to be taking this shade here called Espresso. It's just a dark matte brown. I'm taking this brush here, which is like an outer corner. I don't know. It's like kind of a dense brush, but good for packing eyeshadows onto your outer corner. I'm making no sense. Anyway, grab a brush like this. I'm just going to apply that to the outer V of my eye. So I pack it into the very outer corner, the most product, and then sort of blend it out. And then taking that same first blending brush, I'm just going to blend out that color. Taking that same fluffy blending brush, I'm taking that Espresso shade and I'm going to apply a little bit of that again into the outer corner of my eye, just because I want it to be a little bit darker. This brush here, I'm going to go in with the copper shade and just drag that on my bottom lash line. I'm actually now going to go in with a highlighter. This is Becca's Opal, and I'm just going to apply this to the very front corner of my eyelid. This is the Essence Long Lasting Eye Pencil. I personally do not like liquid eyeliner. I just feel like it looks super harsh on me. So I always just tightline my eyes instead. And then for mascara, I'm taking the Benefit They're Real mascara. I actually haven't used this in quite a while. And I'm just going to take the tiniest bit and apply that to my bottom lashes. Does anyone else make the Kath and Kim face when they put mascara on it? So back to the face, I'm going to be starting with the Benefit Hoola Light. I'm just using this big fluffy brush from Vanity Planet. I'm going to bronze up my face, and I'm going to use this to bronze up my face, and then I'm going to go in with my Hoola Dark and I'm going to use that to contour my cheekbones. So I decided I'm going to use Bahama Mama by the Balm to contour my face instead of Benefit Hoola, and that's just because this is a little bit darker and I feel like I need something a little bit darker to contour today because I am quite tanned, and I will kind of taper it in like a V all the way down. Just taking some on the bottom of my chin and also up on my temples. For my blush, I'm going in with California by Benefit. This is just a beautiful shimmery pink shade and I feel like it goes quite well with the eye look. And for highlighter, I'm going back into my Becca Opal. This is the same one that I used on my eyes. It's just the most intense, like crazy gold shimmery color ever. It's beautiful. I love it, and nothing beats a beautiful, amazing, crazy highlighter on a night out. So go crazy, girl or guy. I feel like I need to highlight my brow bone. I'm just going to use Highbrow by Benefit and just apply this underneath my brow bone. Actually, I'm going to take a little bit of this into the inner corner because it's super brightening and pretty. So for lip liner, I'm using the Maybelline Color Sensational Lip Liner in 105 Nude Whisper. I like this because it's retractable and I don't have to worry about sharpening it because I'm lazy. Then I'm taking a lip brush and this lipstick here by Rimmel. This is in 750 Look Who's Talking. And just for a little something extra, I'm taking the same Becca highlighter and I'm just going to apply this to my collarbone. Right, moving on to hair. I do apologise that you guys can't see all of my hair, but there's not really anything I can do because my room is really small and I can't move the camera back. I'm going to stop making excuses now. Can you guys just pretend that you can see all of it? Yes. Starting out, I'm going to use some dry shampoo. This is the Batiste dry shampoo, floral and flirty blush, because my hair is really oily, so it needs a bit of a pick-me-up. And then of course we need to apply heat protectant because otherwise your hair will die. Can't even remember the last time I had another heat protectant spray. Brush it out. Now, I would have used my MUK hair curler for this tutorial, but I literally, seriously have no idea where it's gone. And so, in its replace, I'm using this one by Models Prefer. This is like $20. But I'm going to be taking quite big chunks of hair because this is quite a small wand, and if I don't take big chunks, you're going to look like Taylor Swift. I have an itchy nose again. And I'm just going to hairspray my hair as I go along because otherwise it will just fall out. This is the Tony & Guy Tousled Texture Creation Hairspray. It's in my mouth. So the curls turned out quite messy and like almost beachy, which I quite like. I'm just going to take a brush and lightly brush them out. And that is it for the hair. Today's video, guys. I really hope that you enjoyed it. If you aren't already subscribed, I would love it if you would hit the subscribe button down below and join our little family that we have. And if you are subscribed, make sure that you press the bell next to the subscribe button to make sure that you don't miss an upload, because I've been having a couple people send me comments and messages and stuff saying that they haven't been notified in the subscription boxes that I have uploaded a video, and so they've missed my uploads, and so that sucks. YouTube, why are you doing that? I think that's everything I have to say. I'm rambling now, so I will see you guys in my next video. Bye! Mwah.